by Will, just because of how gas has changed in our country. But can you run alternative fuel in a vintage bike?
Okay, Will, thank you for the question and thanks for viewing. I mean, I really appreciate it, and I get this question asked many times when I would say novices come and pick their bike up after buying it. They sometimes bring it to us and we do the once over and get it running for them. They ask me, well, what should I do to run the gas? Generally, if you're going to be running your bike a lot of times and it's not going to be a once in a blue moon kind of thing, running normal pump gas shouldn't give you any problems. As long as you're running the bike and not letting it sit. That's the problem. When you let it sit, that's when you pick up problems, because the ethanol in the fuel ferments and it turns into a resin. We've seen it turn into jelly. I've seen numerous things. It's just horrible and you don't want to have that happen. So ideally, around the country, I know in the States at least, they're starting to sell ethanol-free fuel, and that's probably the best you can do for an easy convenience buy, is get hold of some ethanol free, because it doesn't obviously have the ethanol in there that turns to the resin and the varnish. That's not saying you can go and leave that ethanol free in your gas tank and in your carburetors for 6 months just sitting there. You'll still pick up problems. So that's pretty much what you can do on the fuel side, other than if you're really adamant about it, is what we do at the shop. I have bottles of it all over the place, is fuel stabilizer that we treat our fuel with if we can't always get down to getting ethanol free, because it's not that widely available yet. And we always just mix a little bit of the stabilizer in our fuel, and the prevention is always better than the cure. So for that, what I mean is, if you know you're coming up to the winter months and your bike's going to be sitting around a little bit and you're not going to get the opportunity to ride as much, is to treat the gas as best as you can with either putting ethanol free and topping the gas all the way to the top of the gas tank. That way it's reducing the chance of condensation and water to happen in the gas tank, which creates rust obviously. So ethanol free with some treatment, or at least just gas with treatment, the treatment in the gas to help it stay as fresh as long as possible. But the best thing, even if you're not going to ride the bike, is at least just start it up there, stand around, have a smoke, a drink, whatever you want to do, and just let the bike run and idle. And just the best way of explaining it, as I explain to people that don't understand this, would be if you go to a pond or a swamp that's stagnant water sitting there, you see mosquitoes, you see dirt, it's not something you're going to want to swim in. But if you go to a flowing river, a stream with fresh water running constantly, it looks inviting and you want to get in there and swim. So that's pretty much how the gas situation works. If it's flowing, it's going to be good. If it's sitting, it's going to be bad.